Cool. All right. Let's go to DXY real quick and see what the dollar is doing. See, I already got it dropping, but I want to.
And
So
is
it's
that
still
black dotted line like a support line or is that the price line?
that's where price is currently at because the markets are open.
Okay.
So I have this marked up. I'm sure on the lower time frame. Yeah, see, it's in the zone. It's been in the channel for a minute. But I know on the weekly we had this 25 to life set up. So we know the dollar is super weak. You see, we already this thing is ridiculous. Less than $96 at this point.
Mm.
So if you want to, before you trade, it's good to come to the DXY because anything,
Sorry about that.
yeah, fine. So this is a cheat tool, the dollar is going down. And anything that got USD on the end, it should be going up. Anything that has USD in the front, price should be going down. So price has been currently going down. So the scanner called for, technically, it's calling for a sell. But this price is still going up. It's
Right.
been going up. It's going up because the dollar's going down. So now, for those who trade the 25 to life, we need two candles to the left,
That's the
two
one I've
to
been.
the right. What you said?
That's the one I've been working with. 25 to life.
Okay, cool. So that's perfect. So right now, mind you, this is still a weekly, so this is a much higher time frame, but that don't mean you can't mark a setup there. So we got two to the left, two to the right. So I'm gonna put the fib under this candle because it's closed the lowest. Technically, you want to wait for price to break out, which it did already. You wait for it to retest to the 25, and we take the sell. But mind you, we're in a weekly. So if I go to a low time frame, I'm sure we probably may have had a break and test. But as far as the setup on the weekly, it hasn't happened yet. It still needs to continue go and come back up. Will it happen? It probably will. Because we at another zone. You see why it's stopping here.
Mm-hmm.
Look to the left. It's definitely at an engulfing pattern area. So I would mark that up because I want to know, is price going to respect this or break it?
Okay, a couple questions right here.
Sure.
Um, I see that you don't. Why not respect the wicks? Is the open and close more important than the wicks in this case?
I don't respect Wix because I know Wix is bank. Wix is manipulation. I want to know where real price opened and closed. So if you go to the line, all those wicks disappear. They're not
Mm,
even there anymore. That's manipulation to jerk you to get out. So if you traded this line, you clearly see this double bottom. So you didn't know to get in here. But if you'd have left that wick there and you'd have been paying attention to that, it might have scared you out the trade.
mm. And then why? I mean, you're the first person I ever seen use kind of like the Fibonacci in like a quarter level. Why the quarter levels?
Because that's a particular strategy, which is the 25 to life strategy from Orman Wright.
Oh,
So do
okay,
you know
okay.
that strategy?
I
Did you?
don't.
Okay, so let's go over that real quick before I continue forward. Let me get off this pair. But y'all can understand that this about this part, right? This is like a cheat code. Come here first.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever pair you've been like studying, you should kind of have an idea. Hey, if I like NZD/USD, then I know I should be going up, and I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it is. You saying that I literally just closed out of a
But
sale
this
for
my
him.
pair, so this thing been marked up for decades. So I already had my flag. We up. It just broke my old trend line right here. Broke, retest. We going up. My TP1 would have been here. If it break, retest, I'm taking it up to the next zone. I just trade zone to zone. But I'm gonna be scalping because mind you, there's a whole bunch of sells and buys in here.
Mm-hmm.
Because
It's 8:01 p.m. Currently in Orlando, it's 86 and slightly cloudy.
I gotta
The
have a
forecast
time of
tonight is for a high
everything.
of
I
87
know,
and a low of
girl.
78 and
Thank
partly
you.
cloudy. Due to the current
I'm supposed to be
humidity,
in the
it
gym
feels like it's
again.
93. Have a nice day.
Thank you, girl. I'll be in the gym in a minute. I promise.
It looks like there aren't any audiobooks in your Google Play Books library, but you can buy one on the Google Play Store.
Can we stop this, girl? Thanks, babe. So let me go to like the 15 and find that little zone that I've highlighted with that. That's why I be like, why we gotta wait so long to end the trade? I'm missing all these moves. Like just from that one box. I can't even enclose the whole thing. So I'm gonna take the buy here. I'm gonna take the sell here. I'll just trade the zone. Then when it break out, I'll take the buy up to the next zone. But again, like I said, we started out first looking at DXY, and we're in a downward channel. So most likely, now eventually, I don't know. As we get rid of the dollar, it's gonna continue to drop. Eventually, it's gonna hit zero and negative. Eventually, once we get rid of it. So that's why a lot of these other pairs are really just zooming in on their way up because the dollar is getting so weak. So for most pairs that end in that um, USD, that's the ones you need to be buying right now. Not saying you, thanks, babe. Not saying you can't catch sales, but the trend is your friend. You want to trade with the trend.
So, can I just tell you that you explaining having that USD in the front and in the back, I finally got it now in reference to what we're buying or selling.
Ah,
We just got it. So it's
that's okay.
one versus the other. You know what I mean? So the dollar in front versus, you know what I mean? It clicked finally. So now I understand better what's happening.
That's perfect. That's what we know. That's why you got to stay tapping in, and you be like, I get it. It's an exciting moment. So since he doesn't know the 25 to life, does anybody else not know it? Hey, Tasha.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm alright. How you doing, girl?
I'm pretty good. I'm in the middle of a storm, so I don't got no power.
Oh no.
But like I'm on my phone though,
She
trying to
said,
get
but I
this
got the
stream going.
Wi-Fi. Get them
Right?
pips.
And a
Well,
car
no, not
charger.
Wi-Fi, but just off my phone.
Perfect. That's still Wi-Fi, just to the
Well,
other
yeah,
part.
that's true. It's
All right.
not my spectrum.
Yeah. So
Lord,
okay. So I think everybody on the 25 is like, but Monty. That's how you say it. Or that's how you would
Mon-
like me to call you,
Monte.
Monte. Okay. So I'm gonna go to the 1 hour. Actually, let me go to get off of this. Let me go to just some other pair. Something I don't really beat on a lot. All right, let me do this pair. Dang, missed that one too. I guess I just chart up a lot because let me remove everything. All right, so first let me draw it out for you real quick. 25 to life, you need 5 candles. And you're gonna have one main one in the middle. So basically, that's your, oh, sorry, this is your swing up. And then you need your 2 candles to come back down. And you know that should swing back this way, right?
Mhm.
So that's basically what you need to find out. Sometimes the middle candle may have a wick. So when you pull out your fib, you will include the wick only on this candle though.
Okay.
So now for the fib tools, the settings, you only need 0, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, and 1. So the goal is with every swing, which is basically price going up, price going down, and you're looking for a break. And basically for it to retest and keep going. But the only way to find that where that area is using the 25 to life. So I'm gonna come find. All right, here we go. This is a good one for the buy. So we got to swing down, right? And
Mhm.
a swing up.
Yeah.
So that means we have the 5 candles we need. And you know what? Let me start with the 3-finger strategy because they go into each other. Because some people were missing that too. So let me go over that real quick. The 3-finger strategy, Monte only needs 2 candles. Okay. You only need 2. Bring this down some more. The larger candle is always on the outside, okay?
Mhm.
Because this is a candle that is breaking structure, either for the buy or the sell.
Right.
So we're gonna use this. Actually, was using this pattern. So we're gonna use this engulfing, which is signaling for the buy. This is right here. The bigger one closed higher up. So normally what I do, I just engulf the body. Some people like to do the wick because sometimes price will only go to the wick and not the body. I just don't trade that way. But you see, in this case, if you would have cut the wick, you'd have definitely caught it.
Hmm.
I do it down here. Some people would have been waiting for it to exactly touch, but I know I've just learned that when I see the engulfing and I get the retest, I don't care where it closed because we can't always be accurate. I just know this broke and it came here and closed, then I know I'm getting in for the buy because I just need to see the retest come because we are taught to put our buy limits here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right? We taught put it here because we needed to come back and retest. But and I mean, if we go over, you see it structured. If you look, it's actually another engulfing it lines up with. So this is a good strong zone. But we all are taught to trade the same way. And to be honest, we were taught by the people who created this to actually rob us. So they want you to learn to put your buy limit right here, just for them not to activate it.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
They don't want you to win. So they're not going to come this low because, mind you, most people, this is the hour, right? So each candle take an hour. So let's just say when this engulfing pattern finally closed and this happened, a lot of people are taught, hey, after the breakout, wait for the retest, right? So
Right.
everybody's like, damn, I'm busy. It may take 4 hours before this thing hit. I'm just gonna put my buy limit in. So the brokers are watching. It's like, oh, okay, great. So we got 85% of our orders right here because we taught the world, great. We did a great job. Now watch us not activate none of that and take off and laugh at them. So we're gonna not get caught in this. We're gonna try to remember 5 to 10 pips. Just try to remember if the buy limit or sell limit is here, I'm gonna make mine 5 to 10 pips in a different area because we only need our spread, which is those 2 lines, to activate our order. So we don't necessarily need it to come all the way down here. And then price, like I said, a lot of times it won't even come all the way down here. So that's why some people do like to do the wicks. But I just have my rule because I notice a lot of times it will come here and then still go back down. So I don't like to draw back, which is why I really don't do a lot of pending orders.
Right.
I want to watch, see my retest happen, and I'm in the trade. It even gave you a second time to get in. But that's the first part. The 3 life strategies: just find the engulfing candle. After the big one close, you just want price to come back and retest so you can get in. Now, let's just say you missed that. You missed this retest, right? That's okay. You say to yourself, all right, so if I miss the 3 finger, I could kind of go on the 5 finger, which is a 25 to life, because now you have 5 candles. The first strategy only requires 1, 2, 3 candles. One small, one engulf, the retest, you get in the trade. If you miss it, then say, hey, now I got 5 candles. Now I can pull out my fib and do my 25 to life.
Now, quick question before we continue, real quick.
Yeah.
Could the retest candle be the opposite sentiment?
Yep.
Okay, and then the wick is included in the retest as well, too, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Because you know the wick is nothing but where price had tried to go. It just didn't close there. So when price is moving all this, doing all of this, that wick is just basically telling you, hey, I made it here at some point. I just didn't close there. I decided to close here. But I need you to know I stopped here for a second though. That's it. So now we have the 25 to light part because we missed the 3 finger setup. Now we got to use the 5 candles. So we know this is the candle in the middle. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Which candle do we put the fib up to? This one. Because this one closed the highest out of the 4, right? You see why I picked this candle?
Right.
So we come here, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. We're going to put it here at the close, just the body, right? We got our 5 candles. The first thing with the strategy we need price to do is break outside the 0. We got it. We got the break out the 0. It's right here. This actually was the first candle. So price closed outside. It retraced. When price gets to 25, we are in this trade. That's all we needed. Price to hit 25. If price closed below 50, the trade is invalid because your stop loss is at the 75. Okay? Why the 75? Because that's where structure will last broke anyway. So price goes to go this way, we in the trade in the wrong direction anyway. So let it close out. Or you can let it break, retest, close out when it's up here, and take the sell. But in this case, we had to swing down, swing up. You put your fib, you find the 2 to the left, 2 to the right. You wait for price to close above. You are just waiting for price to come back to the 25, and you end this trade. Just long as price didn't close below the 50, I'm not waiting to see if price can close below the 50 because it may never even get past the 25. So as soon as I got price coming to 25, touching it, I'm in it. I know my stop loss is here. My take profit is either most likely from the 4-hour. I'm gonna look back. You see this where my entry was? So I'm gonna look back because I see that's the head and shoulder. So maybe this would have been my TP1 where my head and shoulder was. Or maybe
Okay,
I'll
so
go ahead. Yeah, ask
um
questions.
on that wick candle on the 1 hour.
Let me go back to the 1-hour because we're in the 4-hour.
Okay.
Okay, right here.
Yep. Right there, right, yep, right where you have it highlighted. Would you have entered on the wick or would you have waited till it closed and then entered?
As soon as I hit the 25 line.
As soon as it hit it and then just set your stop for the 50 or the 75.
Well, for new traders, I can say you can just wait for that. The first candle that's going to touch the 25, just wait for it to close.
Okay.
So right now, this like where prices currently has 44 minutes. So let's just say if this candle was currently the candle,
Hmm.
I would just say, hey, the candle got 44 minutes left. Let's just wait to see where it closed. And that's the safest way to go because hey, if it didn't close below, then that's more confirmation to go. If you don't want to wait, because price sometimes moves so fast, because mind you, I'm a scalp. I mean, all trades under 24 hours is scalping, but I scalp down to trade in 5 to 15 minutes, hour the most. So my move may happen too fast. So I just trust, have faith that hey, when it gets to my 25, I'm in there. It followed all my rules over here. I'm gonna take it because I don't want to miss it taking off too fast.
Facts.
But in this case, you can use the first candle that's coming to the 25. Wait for it to close. If it closed above the 50, you good to go. If it closed below the 50, don't take it. Because that means it already decided to swing up, swing down, and it's probably about to retest to keep going down.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then that's the good thing about the 25 to life. You don't have to get stuck. Let's just say, boom, we're aiming for the buy at this point because we had to swing down and swing up. So we got the retest 25. We looking for the buy, right? So the goal is if that does not happen, this 25 is just the same 25 below. It ain't really no different is at all. So you don't even have to even change the fib if you was using it. You just have to tell yourself, hey, I need price because you know it's all about market structure, which is the same retracements. Because
Hmm.
this is nothing but a flag. This flag got broke. It's time to take this buy anyway. This another little flag. I'm out. And then I like engulfing patterns. So you could literally just trade this engulfing pattern section because you got a bunch of 3 finger setups. This is the first one, right?
Yeah.
Told you only need 3 candles. Boom, the engulfing candle. You just have to wait for the retest. Take the buy. You want to know if you could stay in this buy? Oh, it gave you another engulfing pattern. What'd you do? Wait for this to close. Retest. Oh, we out of here. Oh, did it give you another one to keep going? It sure did. Did it retest that thing again? Oh, boom, we out of there. Then what happens? Stall out, get out. Start going sideways. I'm out. My trade is over. Now it's giving me signals for what?
Sell.
Time
So
to sell. So you just ride this pair, and we're gonna do the same thing. All right, let me mark you up. Let me get ready, cause you're not gonna finesse me. I'm gonna finesse you. So boom, we know everybody been told, oh, consolidation. Start waiting for the sales now. Price went up high. Guess what? All our sell orders are. Please, somebody tell me where we at. We all in the zone. Everybody got their sell limits right here. Who getting finessed by the banks right now?
The buyers.
All
yeah,
the new people who said, I'm gonna put my sell limit right here. No, the sellers. We about to
The
not even get
sellers
in the
getting
order.
finesse.
yeah.
Yes. We getting finessed
I
because
never made it up.
you at work and somebody told you, oh, you don't want to miss your trade, put your sell limit in. So when price get up here, you're gonna sell it. But it never came there.
Mm.
Ah, okay.
Never came there. Now the people who were smart, I'm sure they was like, nah, I'm gonna put my thing down here. But if they knew this engulfing pattern is the real structure, this should have been marked up anyway. This right here is not valid. This right here is the first engulfing in all reality. This one needed to be marked because that's real structure, engulfing patterns. Oh, would you have made it now?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Engulfing patterns is your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is the fake out one because it came after. Try to find the first one. This is just price and the banks playing with you because I bet you right now if I mark this up and change the color just so we can see it. I bet you if I mark this up right here and go to like the daily. Ain't nothing but wicks. Ain't nothing but the banks messing with all the people who like this high time frame. Nothing but wicks up there.
Okay. Okay.
It's time correlation. Look at this one. Just one
Mm-hmm.
candle,
Oh, wick.
but ain't nothing but a wick. Coming to 15 minute, that thing like a whole money. Get me out of this weekly time frame. I can't. We're gonna be waiting forever, missing things. But you need to know where you at. Let me take this off again. So my thing is, if you have a particular pair that you're gonna study, it's the pair you're gonna study. Start with the monthly first. Get to know your pair literally from top to bottom. You go to monthly, you'll be able to see everything. So once you figure out what pair you're gonna get very familiar with, first thing I do is find my zones on the monthly. And to help you out, I would just find a higher price and then a lower price where the lowest price has ever been, period. Then I'm gonna literally just try to cut it in half. And I know you don't gotta be precise in this. Just try to look at it and be like, all right, let me put the line in the middle. But the goal is to figure out which zones can you trade from. So if this is your pair, you're gonna find basically the first engulfing pattern at the lowest part of price, the first engulfing pattern towards the middle, and the first one at the top.
Hmm.
Okay? It's the only thing you're gonna do on a monthly. And it needs to be the first one that's near this, not all the stuff in between. As close as possible to the bottom. So in this case, I'm gonna look for the one in the middle. And this first one is kind of right here. I'm gonna use this one. And I'm gonna just mark that up. And a key thing is to lock the ones on the high time frame because when you start trading on the lower, they end up moving and it can really get frustrating. So just drag this all the way over past price because guess what? You can use this forever. You don't ever gotta change this. You ever see price come back to these zones, you should just get excited. All right, so I'll lock that in. Now I'm gonna find the first one up here. This is not really valid. I guess it'll be this first one right here. Y'all see why I chose this one? These two?
Yeah, the bullish engulfing there.
Yep. I mean, because there are some first here, but it's too close to this. I want to find the closest one to the top. So I got to work my way backwards and go down this way, okay? So it'll be these two as first. Now I'm going to box that in the same way. Move it over. Did I lock this one? No, I'm going to lock them. All right, we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. So this is the lowest one here. So this is the last one. So I'm going to pick this right here. And if you want, to be honest, the more further you go back, the more accurate. So even though this is the lowest point, it's too current price. So I'm gonna go back. This is kind of the lowest over here. So I will use this one then. And maybe even this one. Just because I wanted to get to the lowest. And this is more older information, if that make any sense. But this one is so much lower and this is monthly. So this is back in 2015. So I think this is good enough to use. You understand why I chose this one instead of this one? Yes, no. Y'all gotta talk to me because I don't know if you understand what I just said.
That's the
I
first one.
apologize. I had to rearrange.
Is that the first one? Is that why you chose that one?
Yes, because more of the first one, and both of these are closer to the lowest. I would have choose maybe this one, but this is so old in price, and it's not as close to the lowest it's been. So then, out of these two, I would pick this one because it came first.
Okay.
All right. So let me lock this up.
I didn't know monthly was where I should start. So I'm gonna start over doing all of this on monthly. I think I was on daily.
And you can do that on daily, but this is, I
Okay.
feel like it needs to be done if this is the period you're really going to study full on.
Mm.
All right. Okay. So we so we kind of got all the zones, right? Top, middle. So next thing I do, I just go to weekly and just look at how price has been respected just from that engulfing zone we drew up.